Hello. I'm going to talk you through an alternate assignment for the outdoor nature walk that I assigned today. So first, I'm going to share with you this link. It's a link to a program called iNaturalist. And with iNaturalist, what you can do, if you have the app, is you can take pictures of organisms in your area and upload them to the app, and it will identify that living thing so that you can kind of get to know your area and your surroundings better. Well, all of those pictures that people upload get sent to this website, and with this website, you can then in turn search for a particular place to see the diversity of life there. So let's do that now. If I go up to location and I type Sioux Falls, I should be able to hit enter and it'll take me to our city. So we have to kind of let you see what we're dealing with. The bounding box is the box that it's focusing in on. If we want to expand that and make it bigger, we can. If we want to kind of refine that and get even smaller, closer in, we can do that too. Just by using these arrows, we can zoom in on different places in Sioux Falls. Okay, so what does all of this mean? Well, what we want to do is instead of going on a nature hike, I want you to investigate the different types of living things we have throughout the area. And you can compare maybe some area or some living things in your neighborhood compared to kind of other places in the city, or you can go on sort of a virtual walk, like what would it be like if you went and looked at a river system. So if we zoom in and try and find some of the river, what kind of observations you find along the way. You can click on any one of these and you can see what they found. So as we click through, we can see that there's several different plants. Plants are in green, and we should be able to find, if we scroll down here, we should be able to find that there should be a legend here. Let me click out of this. I think. You go to the map legend and it'll tell you what the different colors are. So if we want to learn about some of the plants, we can click plants. If we want to learn the green buttons, excuse me. If we want to learn about sort of the bigger animal life or whatnot, we can go to the blue. So for example, what might be in the blue area around Paisley Park? Well, when we click it, we see the American tree sparrow. And so this kind of gives us an opportunity to take sort of a virtual nature walk throughout our city. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take a little bit of time. I'd like you to open this up and sort of see the different species that we have in the area. Go on that virtual nature walk. But what I want you to do specifically is pay attention to the different kinds of life in an area. So for example, we might come over here to Augustana University, and we might see that there's a lot of variety. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. We can see that we have kind of a good selection between reds and blues and some greens in there. So if I search, if I click on any one of these, well, it should work. Might have to change this a little bit. Sorry, it's kind of, this recording program sort of changes things a little bit. There it is. So when I click on the pin, it'll show me what was found. I can click on any one of these and it should tell me a little bit more about that particular observation and other places that it's been found. So if we zoom back, we can see all of the places in the United States, and for that matter, we should be able to zoom even further back and see anywhere in the world that particular type of organism is at. So we can see, for example, the broad-handed leafcutter bee. What we can see is that it's sort of in that eastern, kind of northeastern part of the United States, at least from where it's been found. So it might be kind of an interesting thing to look at the different species that you can find, kind of the variety of life in Sioux Falls, and maybe compare it to different places that it can be found worldwide. So if we go back, again, I want you to focus on Sioux Falls. If you can zoom into your particular location, excellent. If you can't, because there's not enough information, like if you lived right here, you can't really find too much right around you. So instead, I'd like you to look at maybe comparing several different species of birds to each other, or maybe compare a few different species of plants to one another. The key here, there's really no right or wrong answer, is to look at the diversity of life. If I come back and I go to grid, I might have to change my bounding box here. Let's go to Sioux Falls again. If I look at Sioux Falls, what I can do is I can make a grid. And the grid tells me the different species that have been found. So if I want to, this will be an easy way to kind of do a quick wide glance of all of the living things that have been reported, at least to this website. We have things from poplars and cottonwoods to different types of fungi. We have birds and butterflies and insects. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to just explore some of those, and I'd like you to compare. Don't just say bird, but say, the house finches, were found in this area of the city, or, the white-breasted nuthatches were found in a different part of the city, and here's what I think is going on, or whatever it might be. I don't really have a right or wrong answer for you, but I want you to investigate this. I will remind you that there are a little bit of, there's a little bit of personal connection I want you to make here. So maybe you've seen some of these. Maybe you have, maybe you didn't know that there was any ruby-throated hummingbirds. Maybe that's a brand new thing that you learned. Or maybe one time you saw, this particular, insect, and you've always wondered what it is. Or maybe you finally figured out that this is a fox squirrel. Whatever it is, I'd like you to take me on your adventure that you have in this iNaturalist setting, this iNaturalist app, and I can give you a little bit more direction on that if you need as we go. So with that, let me know if you have any questions. I know I'm kind of being pretty vague and general about how this is going to look for you, but the key here that I want you to do is I want you to explore the city. And so since you're not able to get outside at the time being, I want you to look for patterns. I want you to see, kind of take yourself on a virtual field trip. Maybe I notice that there's a lot of blue in a particular area, or maybe I see that there's a lot of variety in another particular area, like right here. Like, oh, it'd be interesting to zoom in on that and maybe learn a little bit more about what has been found around Falls Park. The key here is personal connection and investigation. So explore virtually the city. Write down your observations, treat it like an OLE, let me know what you thought of the experience. You can play around a little bit more, cruise through these observations or through these different tabs up top. And remember, you can always come back up here, type Sioux Falls, and it will bring you back to this particular place. If you have questions, let me know. This is a new program for me also, but I can guide you a little bit more as to what I'm looking for. I hope you have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions. I can meet you on. We can have a Google Meet if that would be more helpful, so we can actually interact on this. Let me know. But otherwise, thanks for being flexible, and thanks for letting me know what questions you have.